Hey guys, this video is going to be all about my recent experience with having my gallbladder removed unexpectedly, combined with having rapid weight loss somewhat unexpectedly, and distinguishing if the two were connected and which caused which. Which caused which. Welcome to the Happy Nessa 1111 channel, where we are committed to happiness, connectedness, and being you authentically and unapologetically. Thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome back if you've been here before. Please subscribe if you haven't already, whether you've been here or not. And welcome in general if this is your first time to my channel. So this channel is all about happiness, as you can tell by the name, Happy Nessa. Health, I'm all about discussing things that are related to getting happier and healthier. And on the note of health, I actually am going to be telling my story about having my gallbladder removed unexpectedly, definitely very unexpectedly, but after having reviewed my symptoms and looking at the data and the research, it kind of makes sense now. I'm going to go ahead and apologize if I'm too close. Not the best camera use right now. I'm using my phone, and then not the best angle. I'm in the car. But honestly, guys, at this phase, at the time of recording, it is October 2020. My goal is just to upload the videos consistently. My goal is not to be the most professionally looking channel. Right now, it's all about consistency, guys, okay? In accomplishing any goal, you have to do things in phases. And during this phase, what really matters is consistency. I've just got to get the videos up there. Better is to come. So thank you. And I don't know if I can flip it around and show you guys. Well, you can't see much. You can just see all the cars. But I'm leaving this holistic health fair. See? Health. Topic of this channel. So let's get into it. Check out my description for other videos that are on this channel. A wide variety connected to the theme. Lots of vlogging too with, being married and having all of our kids, all of our daughters in the house. But check below for that other information and to connect with me on social media. So let's get into it. So overview is I'm going to go ahead and talk about basically the actual event leading or the things leading up to the gallbladder removal, and then what I've learned since then, which is really the critical information for people who maybe want to avoid it, or some other great information for people who are having gallbladder issues, including a little bit, a touch of it, not a deep dive, but a touch of the metaphysical cause of gallbladder issues. All right, so things leading up to it, right? So one, it seemed to come out of nowhere, but then again, I was suspicious that something was going on. So when I upload this video, I don't think I'm going to already have my other video about the C-section, but be looking forward to that because I'm going to have a video about the fact that I've had 4 C-sections, so I have a lot of advice to give, but also, unfortunately, I did have complications with my 4th, and I had an emergency surgery after my 4th C-section. So that was surgery number 5 the day after. And that information is not really connected to this, so I'm going to set it aside, but just be looking forward to that video. At some point in the future, it'll be linked below, but if you're watching this video in October 2020, it's not yet. So anyways, I just had that happen, y'all, in August. I had C-section number 4, I had emergency surgery the day after on August 25th. And now fast forward to October, and I've got my gallbladder removed. So like, what's going on, right? What is going on is what I'm thinking. But it all makes sense. I'm going to bring it all together, full circle. And hopefully you all will walk away with some tips about avoiding gallbladder surgery, and then also walk away with some tips that are related to losing weight in a healthy way, in a paced way. So the first sign that something was going on was the fact that I am someone who's very aware of my bowel movements. I guess having been a child who dealt with constipation on a severe level, starting off my childhood with having to deal with that, and then fast forward to being someone who studied health in school, and then fast forward to being someone who's been paid to have my bowel movement studied. I've been paid to research my food and do food diaries, and then do actual bowel movement diaries as well. So with that being said, I'm very in tune with my bowel movement and how my digestive health correlates with my overall health. So here's the first sign. The first sign is that my bowel movements were distinctly different. They were a lighter color, And that wasn't the problem. When my bowel movements changed color, I was like, I mean, that happens all the time, right? You eat certain foods, it changes, it reflects that. But the challenge was I went weeks and my bowel movement was the same color no matter what I ate. That was a red flag for me. It was a red flag because it just didn't make sense. All these years I've been in tune with my bowel movements. I've done the journals. I know that they look different, but for sure, one thing I knew is that they're typically darker. So with that being said, I just was investigating and looking and observing and seeing if anything else was going on. Talked to my OBGYN at the time because I had just had baby, remember? Just had my 4th C-section, daughter number 4. Overall, number 5, my stepdaughter is a girl as well. So, yeah, house full of girls, lots of girls. And so I talked with my OBGYN because we've just moved to Florida. It's been about a year and some change, and I'm a little hard-headed and have not had a primary care doctor down here, and I actually haven't had a primary care doctor in a long time. So, didn't have a primary to go to. It's COVID time, and I'm trying to find a primary, and it's so hard to find one that is 2 things, accepting my insurance and accepting new patients. So by the time I find one, I find out that I have to go 45 minutes across town. That's the nearest one. And secondly, the nearest date is a month and a half away. So I'm like, I need to see somebody sooner than this, because my OBGYN specifically said if my bowel movement did not change color, to definitely speak with my primary, and then my primary would likely write me out to a GI doc. So, so at this point, it's been a few weeks of me noticing it. My OBGYN said, yeah, I should get to a primary. And then what happens is I start to have diarrhea, It's I'm very much an open book, but this is not the most comfortable thing for me to admit, on camera. But yes, I start to have a version of either loose stools and diarrhea. I will call it more loose stools because diarrhea is actually when you're having loose stools multiple times within a certain time period. So it wasn't that it was too crazy, but it was loose, And so, but what was going on, I was able to mitigate it, and it wasn't getting to diarrhea because I was actually looking at my food and realizing what was triggering it. And I also had some common knowledge that, high fat foods can cause diarrhea, certain things can cause diarrhea. So I was avoiding those things, too much fiber, even though fiber is awesome, and the fruits and vegetables, too much of that combined with, other things can exacerbate loose stools. So it was interesting about all of this too. And this is why this is going to be somewhat of a Soulful Saturday. When I upload it, I'm uploading this on a Saturday, but honestly, guys, I'm not even supposed to be doing Soulful Saturdays. I'm supposed to be doing Soulful Sundays, Monday videos, but my schedule's all over the place. But what matters is what? I said consistency. When you're accomplishing any goal, you're going to go through a phase. And in this phase, the strategy is consistency. So I'm creating a new day to upload. It's Saturday today. So on the Soulful Saturday, I'm investigating and looking at my food journal. And what's interesting that I wanted to say is that the guy that I have done the research with reached back out to me, wanted me to do more food journals and bowel movement journals. And so what's interesting is that he also had me look at my pictures and, oh, don't judge. Looked at my pictures, paid research. Okay. Paid research. He had me looking at my, bowel movements from about a year ago. And so what's interesting is that it was all over my face. It's weird that I had this underlying health thing going on, and that without me going and seeking it, the universe, God, was saying, hey, let's look at what your normal bowel movements look like. Let's just reaffirm it in your memory. Like, you aren't going crazy. This is different. So I had the food journal going on, and I was submitting it online to him. And that was helping me realize, okay, wow, I did have a few greasy foods, which was unusual for me. I was allowing myself to splurge because I was losing weight so fast, no matter what I ate. And I attributed that to, yes, breastfeeding and pumping milk exclusively. I actually make a lot of milk without trying to. I actually make enough milk for 3 babies. It's been that way since daughter number 2. I actually donate all the extra milk to hospitals and NICUs or families in need. So I don't have too many videos on my channel about that quite yet. I have a couple, so you can check out that as well. But in the future, hopefully I'll have some links below to some videos about overproducing and donating if you're overproducer, or just how to have an adequate supply. So anyways, so I was like, yeah, I'm pumping all this milk. I probably lost more weight during pregnancy because that's another thing. I intentionally did not try to lose or gain weight during pregnancy. So I was losing a little bit. And actually at one point in pregnancy, they were like, honey, 9 pounds in 2 weeks or 3 weeks is too much. Slow it down. But I said, I'm not really trying to. I'm just doing low carb, intending to not gain weight during pregnancy, which they said was fine. But losing 9 pounds in 3 weeks, they were like, nah. So yes, I lost some weight during pregnancy. I reached my highest weight before pregnancy. So I was very much committed mentally to not gaining a whole bunch of weight because I've been someone who's struggled with weight my whole life. So had that commitment during pregnancy. Fast forward to having the baby and having these changes in bowel movements. When I was looking at my food journals, I realized that I was having an increased sensitivity to high fat and greasy foods, even if it's a healthy fat. This is something that I've had my whole life, but it was exacerbated. It was worse. So it got to the point where the night before going into the hospital, I had literally one serving of almonds, maybe a serving of chips, which obviously is, technically cooked in grease. And I really don't remember any else that day. I mean, I was doing really good with decreasing the amount of high fat in my diet for the sake of seeing how much it would trigger me. Also, what's good to know in this video is that I was doing keto as well. So I was doing, a version of keto. I was doing keto cycling, right? So keto is when you do a high fat, high protein, low carb. Keto cycling is where you, I don't know the technical term of it, but for me, keto cycling meant that I did a high fat, high protein, low carb meal or days most of the time, so about 5 days a week, and then I allowed myself to have carbs within reason a couple days a week. With that, during pregnancy, I lost weight, and with that, after pregnancy, I wasn't doing it. I felt that to produce breast milk, especially knowing how much I was going to produce, to try to eliminate carbs, I didn't think would scientifically work out as much. So I figured, let me build up my supply with the carbs, and then if I need to reduce the carbs in order to lose weight, I'll do that. But no, I was doing the carbs, y'all, and I was still losing weight. I wasn't tracking it as much on the front end, but I was losing the weight really well. I could see it right after having the baby, and then I started tracking, and that's when I started to get concerned. So hopefully this is all coming together. But keto, I jumped back to keto and mentioned how I had been doing that before while pregnant, and then also wanted to do a disclaimer. Please speak with your doctor about anything that you're going to do while pregnant or after pregnant if you're breastfeeding, or just in general, because as you will get to see in a few minutes, once I get to the conclusion of this video, it can be dangerous and risky to do certain things in certain times. That's why people put disclaimers and say, we're not a medical professional, talk to your doctor. So I had doctor clearance. I had a nutritionist, nurse, and doctor who all said, within reason, yes, you can do low carb while pregnant, and within reason, you can maintain your weight, but obviously the goal is not to lose a lot during pregnancy, just because there's question marks about whether that's safe, because that's not often studied. Then secondly, there's question marks about what would that do to the baby. But thankfully, they tracked the baby, and she, Nova Johnson, grew great. She was right at the 50th percentile pretty much the whole time, despite me having losing a little bit of weight during pregnancy, right? So fast forward. That was pregnancy. Fast forward to postpartum, having the bowel movement changes, starting to have the diarrhea, sensitivity to high fat. I'm Google searching everything because I think I'm a little, doctor at heart. And everybody does, right? Medical, we've got our degrees, our Google degrees. And so I'm eliminating certain things, diagnoses, and I'm self-diagnosing myself with other things. But I'm also trying to use what I preach on this channel, which is law of attraction. I don't want to be too negative, right? I don't want to be naive and think that nothing is going on because of the signs that my body are telling me. But I also don't want to be negative, right? You don't want to speak sickness over yourself. So I was praying a lot about, Lord, just speak to me if there is something going on, but also I'm not trying to profess this over my life. And so intuition is something I'm just not bringing up, but on this Soulful Saturday, since I'm making up a theme for today, I want to say intuition is important. Knowing yourself, knowing your intuition, knowing when your God, or, some people watching this video might not believe in God, but knowing when God is trying to speak to you, or when your intuition is trying to speak to you, is really important with health and life or death, honestly. Like, there's a thin line, and there's sometimes a ticking time bomb that can go on with life or death if you're not listening to your body or tuning in, right? So what happens with me is I become very sensitive to the fat, and I had that small portion of almonds and some chips with a sub or something, and veggies, pretty balanced diet, nothing too crazy. And that night I'm in pain. My girls can tell, they're like, Mommy, are you okay? And I'm just like, I think I have somewhat of a high tolerance to pain, or I kind of down it. So I knew it was really bad. I had felt that pain once before, years and years ago. And I actually was on the way to the ER with that same pain years and years ago, but it went away out of nowhere. And then it just never came back until more recently. So I had that pain. It was familiar, but I didn't know what it was. And what happened? It went away. It was like strong for maybe 5 to 10, and then it gradually went away. Kids went to bed. They were feeling a little better about mommy, but I kind of warned my oldest that, I might be going to the ER tonight. And possibly could have went to urgent care sooner. I'm going to admit something publicly because I am about teaching on this channel. Me and my friend were joking about me prolonging not going to the doctor so I could keep losing weight fast. Because again, one of the red flags in addition to my bowel movement change was that I was losing weight so fast that I questioned whether it was healthy. I haven't even specified, y'all. I was getting to the point where I was losing a few pounds of legit weight, not just water weight, every few days. Like a pound a day? Nah, bro. I'm not about that life, because I know if you do that too consistently, you're losing and you're breaking down muscle. You're not losing fat. I believe if you lose weight too fast, too consistently, depending upon your size, percentage wise, that you are losing muscle or you're compromising something, So once I started having repetitively, I was like, yeah, I kind of like this weight falling off, but I was like, I know that I got to be careful. So I didn't necessarily procrastinate with urgent care, but I'm busy with homeschooling and being a little entrepreneur on the side and just life, Baby girl Vaya at the time of recording this video is only 6 weeks, so I've got a newborn at the house. So it's not like I'm running to urgent care until I have the pain. So it took the pain for me to be like, okay, time to go to the doctor. So I had the pain that night. This is a week ago so that was like, doesn't matter what date it was in October, but it was a week ago. And it's Saturday night, kids go to bed. I warned my oldest, I warned my husband I might have to go to the ER. I wake up and I just don't want to have to go to the ER. I'd rather wait to go to urgent care or just for it to go away. So I'm being a little stubborn. Talk about intuition though. I prayed, I said, God, please speak to me, because I know I'm being hard-headed. I said, if I need to go to the ER, let me know by not allowing this pain to go away. And if it is okay for me to stay and go at a future time, please take it away. It didn't go away. It got milder, but it never went away. And I also could not sleep. I was even going to ignore my prayer and still try to fall asleep and just not go to the doctor, but I could not sleep. I could not fall asleep. And so got up, took a shower at 3 o'clock in the morning, went to the hospital, y'all. I had diagnosed myself because of my symptoms of rapid weight loss, bowel movement changes, different things. I had self-diagnosed myself with pancreatitis or something similar. I don't know why gallbladder wasn't in my radar exactly. It was somewhere there, but it wasn't top of the list for me. Pancreatitis was, which I believe is worse. So anyways, come to find out, yes, they admit me and they keep me. I had already had my bags packed. I wasn't trying to be negative, but intuition can speak. So I, had my stuff packed. I had my essential oils, my little diffuser, just in case I was going to be there for longer than a few hours. And so anyways, they told me I had acute cholecystitis. I don't think I'm saying it right, but I'll probably have some words somewhere on the screen. And that basically is once your gallbladder has been compromised due to probably gallstones. And guess what? Some of the causes are rapid weight loss. And guess what, guys? I forgot to mention, in addition to keto, I have been doing intermittent fasting off and on over the years. Beautiful thing. I encourage it, but I encourage research and consultation with your doctor to see if it's right for you. And so intermittent fasting, or fasting in general, can also, guess what? It can cause gallstones. So that's why we got to take our health seriously, and we got to be careful with things that we try. Holistic and natural remedies are awesome, but they can also be done in the wrong way, and it can compromise something. So I'm going to tell y'all, with 15 minutes going by in this video, or 16, 17, I'm not going to have time to get into the metaphysical cause of it. That will be a separate video that will be coming. What was the emotional, the spiritual, the metaphysical cause of me manifesting this experience? Why was my gallbladder removed on an emotional, spiritual level? Because this is just the physical. The gallbladder being removed was the physical treatment or resolution to the digestive issues and to be able to increase more bile. But what caused it even before? Because the mind body connection is a real thing. So that's a separate video. So they diagnosed me. They told me I would have to get it removed. I wasn't too happy about that, but I felt secure in knowing that I had done my research, and I felt intuitively that I wasn't being taken advantage of, that they weren't just trying to yank out my gallbladder for no reason, especially given my symptoms. I surprisingly found out that it wasn't that my gallbladder issues were causing the rapid weight loss. It was my rapid weight loss that was exasperating gallbladder issues. What? So, yeah, guys, I'm going to have to wrap up the video. I'm going to have to do a separate video, be looking forward to it, that goes into a deeper dive about the safety, the benefits versus the risks of keto and low carb. and also the safety versus the risk of intermittent fasting. And also what I know more now. What do I know more now about all the different factors that can lead up to gallstones or gallbladder issues? Because there's just so many. It's too hard to try to squeeze it all into a 10 or 15-minute video or 20-minute video. I now know that pregnancy is a put you at risk, so many different things. So that will be a follow-up video. And what else? I think that's it. I think that I've got to try to do shorter videos. I can ramble on here because I do enjoy this. I'll be doing this long term. You know, happiness 1111 is not going anywhere. YouTube is a long-term investment for me, and so that's why I'm not even analyzing anything right now. I'm just trying to be consistent with the uploads, and all else will come in years down the road or whenever, y'all. So I thank you for watching. The takeaways from this video is stay tuned for more. More about the safeties of weight loss and how keto, intermittent fasting, and all of that played into my gallbladder issues. I will quickly say, what was I going to quickly say? I don't remember that quickly, y'all. That is crazy, but y'all know I got a newborn, so I got excuses. So yeah, that's it. All the other juices and details will come in the next video, but I guess what I was trying to say is some takeaways. The takeaway is be in tune with your intuition. This is Soulful Saturday. It might not be a Saturday when you're watching it, so it's a soulful day, whatever day you're watching it, but be in tune with your intuition, be in tune with your body, listen to the cues. I do believe I could have caused myself a lot more damage and harm and consequences with stalling it out. You know, some people go years with pains because they won't go to the doctor, and they just think it's a really bad tummy ache, or because the gallbladder is right up here under your breastbone, sometimes in the middle or to the right. That's exactly where I was feeling the pain. And it was so distinct. It felt like it was in the middle of my body and also radiating through to my back. My back felt like I wanted to crack it, like there was something like wrapped tight around me. Really weird pain. It's hard to describe, but that's the best description I've had so far. So takeaways are know your body and trust your intuition. Be careful with healthy remedies or things that you're trying, because there are a lot of new things popping up left and right. There are a lot of scientific things that have evidence that show they're good for you, but there's also disclaimers and fine print, y'all. So that will be the next video. It will talk about more details of the connection between all of what I'm talking about: keto, low carb, intermittent fasting, fasting in general, weight loss, and gallstones, gallbladder, or other issues that can be caused. And then also another video about my C-sections advice, because that's some good information, and then why I had complications and how to avoid that as well, potentially. You know, you can try to avoid so much in life and you never know, but that is another video to look forward to. Is all about my C-section experience and what happened with that scare, because that could have been life or death as well. Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you. I'm just going to say thank you. I'm not going to say Lord have mercy, because that sounds like I'm complaining. I'm saying thank you, God, for life and health, and for this platform of YouTube for me to share my experience. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching despite the simplicity of this channel at this phase. Let me know if you got questions. Have a great, healthy life. And listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut. Trust yourself. Do not think and speak negativity over your life, but if life is hinting that something is going wrong or something is off, listen, tune into it, okay? Bye.